I'm Ashton Addison from EventChain for InvestmentPitch Media and the Crypto Coin Show. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Peter Girr, the founder of Wise Token. Peter, welcome back to the show, and it is great to have you here again.
Yeah, it's good to be back, Ashton.
I know that Wise Token has been doing a lot since we last spoke in Q3. And for those who didn't see that interview, I'd love if you could just start by giving a high-level overview and the focus of your Wise Tokens project and the vision.
Sure. So we originally launched on Ethereum back in December, and the idea for Wise Token is a extremely safe asset-backed token. So the core idea comes from when the US dollar used to be backed by gold pre-1970s. And we really don't have that kind of thing in crypto, even though we could. So we launched Wise on Ethereum. All the ether raised was used to back up the token. The way we did that was we used it to create a liquidity pair on Uniswap, and then we locked the liquidity so it cannot be taken away forever.
Mm-hmm.
And so what that did is now we have got a massive pool of ether that is backing the value of all Wise tokens. And so that's the value of that, now that ether has gone up over these couple months, is $370 million.
Wow.
And so that's the amount of money that's backed it up. And the interesting part about it is, so half of that is ether, half of that is Wise tokens, and then our market cap is still $150 million. So we have a $150 million market cap token that is being backed up by over $300 million worth of liquidity on Uniswap. So pretty safe.
Definitely, yeah.
So that was the idea, and so on Ethereum you can consider Wise. It basically is ether with extra programming and extra wiggle room and price. So it'll move with ether. However, the buys and sells on Uniswap affect it as well. If there's sells on Uniswap, then it'll move with ether and it'll be slightly below. If there's buys on Uniswap, then that'll just compound, and then the price will gain more versus ether. So that was the idea. And last time I talked to you, we just had the staking contract. So you can buy Wise, hold it, and stake it. But we have come such a long way since then, and that's really what I want to focus on, as well as our launch on Binance Smart Chain. So when you have an asset-backed token, one cool thing that we discovered is that it makes it the prime candidate for providing liquidity. So providing liquidity on decentralized exchanges is one of the most lucrative things that you can do with your crypto. The problem is there's a risk involved, and the risk is impermanent loss. Meaning, if assets don't move together, the two assets that you're supplying liquidity for, if they move against each other, if one goes down or if one goes up too fast versus the other one, then you've got impermanent loss, and that is just market losses versus what you could have had if you were just holding the token and not providing liquidity. But for Wise and Ethereum, they move together in price, so there is no impermanent loss versus Ethereum. It's as safe as holding Ethereum, and so when you're providing liquidity for stuff like Wise and Ether, then you get all the benefits of providing liquidity and don't have that impermanent loss. So we've made a lot of partnerships with exchanges, QuickSwap being the prominent one. So that's the layer 2 Matic Polygon. And so right now with your Ether, if you switch 50% of that Ether for Wise and go provide liquidity for Wise Ether on QuickSwap, you're actually making over 100% ROI on QuickSwap. With zero risk of losing value versus ether.
Wow.
So that use case wasn't apparent to us in December when we launched, but it was kind of a really cool thing. And so now we've lined up partnerships with a ton of additional decentralized exchanges, so that we can provide liquidity there, and they are offering rewards in their tokens, and so it's pretty awesome. And then the other thing that we're working on is a lending and borrowing contract. So that's industry standard. Ethereum, wrapped Bitcoin, the stable coins. pretty much anything you could see traded on Uniswap or PancakeSwap. You'll be able to borrow it or lend it as well. And we also have some innovations that we have made on top of that, such as leverage lending, which is basically like taking a leverage long position and you're earning an interest on your position as well for the duration. So pretty exciting improvements that we have since December, and pretty exciting roadmap stuff coming up. And so with that, we are now launching on Binance Smart Chain, because honestly, the fees on Ethereum are making it really ridiculous for just, the average staker. Doesn't want to pay over $100 to just stake their Wise token. So we're launching on Binance Smart Chain. We are holding a massive pre-sale event right now. There's 8 days left, and we're doing it's the exact same tokenomics that we did on Ethereum, except that instead of being backed by Ether, this WiseB token will be backed by BNB.
Wow, that's great, Peter. And that's a lot of updates that your team's been working on. And I'm excited to see the lending and borrowing with leverage tokens as well. That's super interesting. And yeah, I can imagine with raising that capital and locking it in forever back in the winter, and now just with the appreciation of Ethereum, it's even 40% this week. It's going crazy right now, and
yeah.
There is a lot of interest in it, and yeah, that does also increase the fees, because there's a limited capacity for the scalability, and I can imagine if there's smaller lenders, traders, investors to be paying $100 or around there for a transaction, obviously that's gonna hinder the democracy of getting small people involved as well as large people. But I'm guessing that your team has still had a lot of traction in the user growth, since December, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have about 10,000 users right now. We've had a ton of interest with liquidity providing on other exchanges, because obviously, being able to make 100% ROI on your Ether position is insane, especially when there's no risk to impermanent loss versus Ether. So we actually have $12 million of Wise liquidity on QuickSwap Exchange right now that has been moved over. And that has created a lot of excitement. We also have partnerships with ViperSwap on Harmony Network. And we have 2 new recent partnerships that haven't been started yet, but that is with the Value DeFi project and Zero Exchange. So we're just lining them up, and they're happy to have us provide liquidity, because it brings liquidity to their exchange, and we're happy to get the rewards that are offered, because it's even better than staking rewards. So it's really exciting, and I can't wait to do it again in an environment where it only is going to cost like 5 cents to be able to stake. And we really made Wise for the person that is a smaller investor, and we do have a lot of smaller investors. We even paid back over 100 ETH worth of gas fees during our launch on Ethereum. So I'm very happy to be launching on Binance Smart Chain, where it's just going to be such better user experience when you're not paying those high fees.
Definitely. And I really like what you said about the impermanent loss. I think a lot of people, when they first are getting into staking and providing liquidity, they don't fully understand that it's just not just the ROI that you're getting, but there's also that risks of the divergence of the prices of the different assets that can incur losses. So to not have to worry about that is huge for people that are just starting to get into providing liquidity, and then to top that off, to move to Binance Smart Chain, where there's almost no fees, and it's been growing so rapidly. I think this is the perfect time for that in the last month or two to start with that integration. So right now you're doing the pre-sale launch for getting onto Binance Smart Chain, and then so that's going to happen. And then when does that end? And then when does the actual network launch with the liquidity?
Yep. So it ends in 8 days. As soon as it ends, then the liquidity gets formed on PancakeSwap, and then staking starts. And then our partnerships with the dexes that are offering high APY rewards, like it's basically like a syrup pool on PancakeSwap. We're just not doing, in addition to syrup pool, the same thing on these other dexes that we have partnerships with. So that launches immediately afterwards. As soon as people get their YSB tokens, there'll be these opportunities there to make high ROI without the risk of impermanent loss.
Mm-hmm. That's really great. And I was reading into the new Binance Smart Chain integrations that you're working on, and I saw that there was, you can just stake, but there's also these different reservation modes. I wonder if you could elaborate a little bit on if there's different things that the users can do with this new integration.
Sure. Yeah. So that's our pre-sale right now. And so when you so to participate in the pre-sale, you need a MetaMask wallet and then some BNB. But then when you choose to invest, you're not only getting YSB tokens, but there's also over $500,000 worth of cash bounties in BNB that are going to be given away during the pre-sale. So the mode you choose depends on which one you want to like which one you want to compete for. Mm-hmm. So like mode 1 is the no risk one. It's just 1% instant cash back. So like if you send 100 BNB, it sends you 1 BNB back in the same transaction. So you're still getting the same amount of WISE tokens as any other mode. It's just you get 1% cash back. Then there's mode 2, which is a lottery, and so there's like a 5 BNB minimum for that one. But there's winners a day, and everybody gets $100 of BNB. And then the other ones, they're bigger cash prizes. So from $5,000 all the way up to $100,000, where you go in that mode and you're competing with the other investors who choose that mode. And the biggest investor goes away with a bounty. Mm-hmm. So there's a little games theory there. Like if you're a bigger investor and you're looking to make a bigger investment, like, do you go for that $100,000 and hope that there isn't a bigger whale that is going to outbid you on that? Or do you go for one of the medium ones or smaller ones just to be like extra certain that like you're going to be the winner there? Mm-hmm. So we just wanted to create some excitement and, game theory there, and be able to give away some cash prizes to make the launch super exciting as well.
Definitely. And I think that adds a nice little twist to it. So that's really cool. And with the new Binance Smart Chain integration, is there anything else that's going to be changing besides it's going to be cheaper and faster from the people that are already using Wise on the Ethereum chain?
Yeah, so there's an upgrade in tokenomics. So because of that massive liquidity pool we created on Ethereum, there's a price floor in Ethereum. And so meaning like if everybody sold their Wise back to Uniswap, there'd still be 28,000 Ether in that pair. So that money is basically dead money, just holding space. It's below the price floor. It wouldn't be used even if everybody sold their Wise. So we did a tokenomics upgrade. This time when we're launching on Binance Smart Chain, the BNB that is below the price floor is going to be accessed through a wrapping contract. And what that basically means, no different than exactly what we did on Ethereum, except the fact that there's going to be all this money that's going to be able to be utilized to be making profits. And we do that through the BNB validator nodes, Alpha Homora, basically any yield farming site that is going to give a high ROI for being able to lend out tokens. And so what that means is more profits that are coming into the system for stakers. Mm-hmm. But by our calculations, staking rewards should be about double what was possible without using the money below the price floor, like we did in Ethereum. And so the cool thing about that is that money is going to be used to airdrop BNB on Binance Smart Chain and Ether on the Ethereum chain to basically airdrop on and just reward people who are staying with the system. So we got a cool tokenomics upgrade, and the more BNB that is raised in this pre-sale, the more money is below the price floor that can be lent out to earn profits to airdrop onto stakers within the system.
Very cool. And I know you mentioned there's 8 days left. For the viewers that are interested in learning more about Wise Token, or just about the Binance Smart Chain integration and this pre-sale to get involved in the next version here of Wise, what's the best way for them and what are the next steps for them?
Sure. So our website is where the pre-sale is being hosted. So it's wisetoken.net and then /BSC for Binance Smart Chain. From there, you can just connect to your MetaMask wallet and you can see all the modes there and all the information is there for reservations.
Very cool. Well, I will leave those links in the description box below. Is there something else?
Oh yeah. I also want to say, like, we're also super active on Twitter and Telegram. So our Twitter is wise_token, and then our Telegram is just t.me/wise token. And so there's been a lot of excitement. We're doing all sorts of giveaways, man. Like, we've been giving away $100 a day on Twitter, and actually tonight, there's going to be a $10,000 Twitter giveaway. So we're doing so much. Like, we're going all out to just tell people about what we're doing. We're really excited about like how far this has come, and just the idea of doing it in an environment where it's just so easy and so cheap as well.
Definitely. That's really exciting. And I will leave those social links as well in the description box below. All the best with this Binance Smart Chain launch and Wise Token overall with the platform. It sounds like your team's doing a great job so far. And let's follow up in the near future.
All right. Sounds good, Ashton. Thanks for having me.